Hello everyone, welcome to the When It Worked podcast. You're with your host Julian Lee. Today I'm joined by the fantastic John Verrico, Scott Harris and Lynn Banis. Welcome to the show, wonderful guests.
Hello there.
All right,
thank you.
We're going to play Jeopardy. Guess. Let's load up the board, even though you've already seen it. All right, the categories today are countries of the world, insurance. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a terrible category. Totally rad, shoe-ins. Shoe-ins. I can't remember what that's all about. Beat it and geographic terms. Who would like to kick things off? The person on the left. Mr. Verrico.
Hello there. Oh boy. Let's kick it off and do beat it for 100.
Beat it for 100. A gnat can beat these over 500 times a second.
What are its wings?
Its wings is correct. Well done. Mr. Verrico, what would you like next?
Oh, let's stay there for the heck of it. Let's go beat it for 200.
Beat it for 200. Invented by Dietrich Winkel, this musical device can sound a steady beat at various speeds.
What is a metronome?
Sounds pretty good to me. Let's take a look. Metronome's correct. Doing very well. Continuing on, what would you like? Should we continue to beat it?
Let's continue to beat it. 300, please.
Should have taken that back. This battery-operated device is implanted to stimulate the heart to beat in a normal rhythm.
What is a pacemaker?
Pacemaker is correct. Well done.
Wow. I'm very lucky here. Do I take my chances and stick with beat it?
I couldn't resist clicking on the next one on this category. It just happened. It was an involuntary thing. Let's do it. From the Spanish for chestnuts, these instruments put the beat in flamenco dancing. Jump in if you know the answer.
What are castanets?
Castanets, when you go like this. I remember doing that in elementary school.
Yeah.
Well done. You got it. You're on the board and you're in control.
What about countries of the world?
Countries of the world, I'm assuming
100.
for 100. The US state known as the Land of Shining Mountains borders this country.
Oh boy.
Well, there's only two.
Canada.
He's correct. Well done, Lynn. Did you get points?
Countries of the world for 200.
I think I've clicked your points twice. You've got 500 now. We'll see if we can work that out. Countries of the world for 200. This European Grand Duchy was founded in 963. Well, that's a strange number. When Count Siegfried acquired land in the area.
Sounds like a German name to me. No, maybe not. Let's say Austria.
Luxembourg is the correct one. You're still in control though, Lynn. What would you like?
Shoe-ins for 100.
Yeah, let's see what this is all about. Shoe-ins. It's a curved piece of plastic or metal used to ease one's heel into a tight-fitting boot.
What is a shoehorn?
Shoehorn is correct. Well done, Lynn.
Shoe-ins for 200.
Shoe-ins for 200. From 1970 to 1999, he held the record for career victories as a jockey.
No, I can just see him.
One of the
Shoemaker.
I get you. They're all shoe questions. You got it, Lynn. Well done.
Shoe-ins for 300.
Shoe-ins for 300. This smooth-souled variety of tap dancing was made famous by George Primrose.
Can we jump in or no?
Jump in.
Yeah, jump in.
What is soft shoe?
What? Oh,
You got it. Well done. I like somebody assertively jumping in. You're in control now.
If I can jump in, I'll be jumping in more. Let's say beat it for 500.
Beat it for 500. A common effect of lightning injury is this defined as a heartbeat of over 100 beats per minute.
What is AFib?
AFib is not correct. It is tachycardia.
Oh, tachycardia.
Am I still rocking here?
You're still rocking.
Yep.
What would you like?
All right. The countries of the world for 300.
Countries of the world 300. The Czech Republic, now known as Czechia, is bordered on the north by Poland, on the east by Slovakia, and on the west by this country. West of Czech Republic.
What is Germany?
Deutschland is correct. Well done.
All right, let's keep on going. Countries.
Countries of the world 400. The name of this most populous country in Africa contains the name of one of the countries it borders.
What is Nigeria?
This is your category. Well done. Should we do 500?
Keep on rocking. Yep.
In the free world, with over 20 million, this country had more casualties during World War II than any other.
Well, it's not going to be Germany because we already said it. But
One country was kind of like just.
What is Russia?
You got it. Well done. Soviet Union, Russia. What would you like now? Where are we going?
I don't know. Let's start. Let's go with insurance. Can we pick 500 just to mix it up?
Well, forgive me if I nod off in this category. It's discrimination in issuing property insurance based on the property's location.
What is redlining?
Well done. How did you know that?
nobody knows insurance.
I think I have heard about that actually. Yes.
What
Do you believe me?
No, I don't believe it. What is insurance for 400? Let's do 400 for insurance.
Insurance for 400. Constitutions have amendments. Wills have codicils. Policies have these, like horses.
What are riders?
Riders. I understand. You're in the real estate game. Is that right, Scott?
That's right.
So there's a few insurance policies you might be privy to. Or you're just really good at trivia. What would you like next?
Insurance for 300.
Insurance for 300. You're showing it if you're old enough to know it's the date a policy becomes payable.
What is age?
Something I lack is maturity is the answer. You're still in control, Scott.
Okay, let's do shoe-ins for 400.
Shoe-ins for 400. Say it ain't this disgraced 1919 Chicago White Sox ball player.
Who is Shoeless Joe Jackson?
Shoeless Joe Jackson. And why was he disgraced? Does anyone know?
Gambling.
Oh,
Bet on
God.
the game.
He would have got a sponsorship these days. Oh, on betting on the game. Yeah, that you can't do that. Actually, I just watched the thing on Netflix with the NBA referee that was rigging games for the mafia. That was good show. Anyway, what would you like?
Let's do shoe-ins for 500.
Shoe-ins for 500. This large East African wading bird sports shaggy grey plumage and long legs.
What is a shoe bill?
Shoebill is correct.
Wow.
Boo-hoo.
Well done,
Yes.
Mr. Verrico.
All right. Well, let's just get totally rad and start in the middle of the board at 300.
Totally rad at 300 with the FM radio voice. I predict you'll know the name of this French astrologer who lived from 1503 to 1566.
Who is Nostradamus?
Nostradamus is correct. Well done. What would you like?
Let's stay on rad for 400.
Let's stay on rad. It's the straight line extending from the center of a circle to the circumference.
What is a
What's
radius?
Radius. I think Scott just snuck in there on that one. What would you like next?
And we'll go with 500.
500, totally rad. This electronics chain first opened in 1921 on Brattle Street near the site of the Boston
What is Radio Shack?
Oh, Radio Shack. Do they still have Radio Shack?
Nope.
Nope. They were disappeared from here as well. What would you like, Mr. Verrico?
Well, let's, do we try geographic terms? Let's go geographic terms for 300.
Geographic for 300. It's a small body of water, or how the British refer to the Atlantic.
The pond.
Right now, it's either Mr. Verrico or it's Lynn. I need some adjudication.
Can we time in before the answer is completed?
That's if we were a proper organised thing, but we just wing it and holler out the answer.
Okay.
I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to you, Lynn.
Okay, thank you. Let's pop up the questions again.
There they are. Sorry.
All right, let's go with geographic terms for 400.
Geographic terms for 400. It's a bit of land lower than the surrounding area or a jazzy street in New Orleans.
What is a...
Got a bit.
What?
He had it, but he had a little bit of a brain malfunction. It happens. You better get it before he recovers the answer.
I was going to say valley.
Womp.
That's
You know, when Katrina happened, there would have been a lot of talk about this.
Can't think of it.
Jazzy Street.
oh my god.
I don't really know, but I'm thinking like French Quarters. But yeah, I'm wrong. I don't know anything. It's a basin.
Oh,
Basin.
basin.
But what's that got to do with a Jazzy Street? Is there a basin?
There's a Basin Street Blues.
Ah, there
Yeah.
you go. Well, you're in control still.
Let's do geographic terms for 200.
Geographic terms for 200. When the top of one of these collapses, a caldera remains.
What is a volcano?
Volcano is correct. Well done. What would you like?
Geographic terms for 500.
Geographic for 500. This term for a chain of islands came from the Greek name for the Aegean. I think it says that Aegean
What is
Sea.
archipelago?
Was that Monte Carlo?
Archipelago.
Archipelago
Pelio.
is correct. Well done. You got it. You're on fire.
So, 100 for geography.
Geography for 100. It's the dividing line between the northern and southern
equator?
hemispheres. Scott got that one again. Well done, Scott. Four
Okay.
questions left.
Let's do insurance for 200.
Insurance for 200. Insurers deal with this. The probability
risk?
of loss. What was that?
Risk.
It's the one. You got it. Well done. Somebody get this man on Jeopardy, the real show. What would you like next?
Well, I don't have to use my thumbs here, so it's easier. Rad for 200.
Rad for 200. It's the crisp edible root of the plant
What is a radish?
Raphanus sativus of the mustard family. Radish is correct. I didn't even get the question out. Well done. Rad or insurance for 100? What would you like?
Let's do rad for 100.
Rad for 100. It's the centennial state.
What is Tennessee?
Rhode Island.
Colorado is the answer we're looking for.
Colorado.
Last question, insurance for 100. It's a payment on an insurance policy or a ranking, especially for a brand of saltine.
Premium.
Premium is correct. Well done, Mr. Verrico. Finishing off, we've got Mr. Verrico on 1,700, Lynn on 1,100, and Scott on 4,700. Well done, Scott. Let's see the horn. You absolutely went crazy towards the end there. Great job. All right. Let's have a chat to John on the left. Tell us a bit about what you're up to. You're a speaker. How did you get into speaking?
You know, it was a weird evolution. As part of my career working in public affairs, mostly what I was doing was coordinating with media and training people how to speak to media. So I started doing more, larger groups instead of just one-on-one. And it just evolved from there. I realized that I was helping people with their communication skills, that evolved to leadership skills. And now I do, I'm a keynote speaker on leadership and communication topics, as well as being a coach.
Awesome. And, what type of people do you speak for, generally speaking?
Wow. It's all across the board, everything from companies on staff retreats. I just spoke with a college fraternity. I speak with nonprofits. I go to schools. So it's really kind of across the spectrum. Pretty much anybody who's willing to pay me. No, I shouldn't say things like that. But that's really what it comes down to. I speak with all sorts of groups from all walks of life.
And as far as the coaching goes, is that a similar thing? Is that connected to the speaking? Which comes first for you?
It's really a little of both. So the coaching part is when I get to do a one-on-one training directly. Usually it's on public speaking skills, leadership skills, helping people to prepare for a new, like a job interview, that kind of a thing. So the coaching comes in to get down into the weeds and do something very individualized and personal for somebody who has a particular skill set they want to work on. And the speaking is when I get to get up in front of a larger group of people and influence people en masse. I love doing both. That's always, I guess it's been part of my internal makeup, is my desire to help other people become successful and to achieve what they didn't think they were capable of doing before.
Awesome. And what's the Positive Talk Radio, John?
Yeah, that's something relatively new. There's the guy who started this many years ago. His name is Kevin McDonald, and I was a guest on his show several times, and we just hit it off. And I liked the concept of trying to spread positivity and talking to people who are doing good things for the world or good things in their community. And I was a radio broadcaster when I was in the Navy. And being, having that broadcast background, I kind of liked that whole, interviewing people online kind of a thing. And I thought in the back of my brain, gee, I wonder if Kevin would want to co-host at some point. And I never actually voiced that. I didn't even tell my wife I was thinking about it, because she would laugh at me, because I have what she calls helium arm. I'm always like getting involved with stuff I can't stop volunteering. I should know better, because Navy's an acronym for Never Again Volunteer Yourself. Yeah. But anyway, out of the clear blue, Kevin just called me up and said, "Hey, I really like the way we've jived, we work together, and I think you'd be a great asset to the show, and I'd love you to be my co-host." So that's how that came about. So we're on 5 days a week on the Brushwood Media Network and on platforms, basically every podcast platform, and have 1.6 million listeners at this point.
Awesome.
I'm loving it.
And what sort of stuff do you do on that show?
Oh my goodness! Well, mostly it's an interview type show. Actually, it's a conversation show, and we get people from all walks of life. We get everything from healers to people who are doing great things in their community, and just talking about altruistic and beneficial things for humanity. We just need some positive news out there. Trying to counterbalance all the negativity in the world. And that's our mission, to get out there and tell the world that there are good people doing good things, and there is a ray of hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not necessarily an oncoming train.
Amen.
Awesome. And one important question, John, what can people learn from monster movies?
Okay, well, monster movies were my inspiration. I was a little kid in school. I was only 5'3", weighed 110 pounds when I graduated high school at the age of 18. So I was the little guy getting picked on by bullies a lot, and bullies were my monsters. And instead of fearing the monsters, I found my inspiration was in monster movies, and I learned that in the monster movies, no matter how big and bad and horrible the monster was, the little guy could win.
Yeah.
And so that gave me that ray of hope. And so I became fascinated with monster movies and all the lessons that we can learn from the interactions of people and doing things together and collaboration and listening to the guy who may not be the big, bulky, muscle-bound hero, but usually the best ideas come from, the little wormy guy or whatever, the underdog. And just, like I said, the lessons to be learned is that, even the little guy can win no matter how bad the odds seem to be.
Awesome. And if you want to check out what John's doing, the show notes will have the link to John's website. You can check out Positive Talk Radio and all the stuff that he is doing. Thank you very much, John Verrico.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, let's pop over to Lynn. You're down in the south somewhere, are you? Carolina or something?
Virginia Beach.
Virginia.
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
How's the weather down in Virginia this time of year?
It's beautiful.
Perfect.
It's in the mid-60s right now.
Well, I don't know what that means, but sounds good. See, I'd be dead. I'd be dead if it was the mid-60s here.
Yeah. I was sure.
Awesome. And tell us about what you've been up to, Lynn, and the work that you do.
Okay. First, John, I think what you're doing is awesome. I'm really, that's exciting. So thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
I have a company called Widows Rising Together, and it came about because several years ago, my 106-year, well, she was 100 then, mother came to live with us, and I took care of her until she passed away at 106.
Wow.
Obviously, I had retired and put all my other stuff on the shelf because that's so time consuming. And then within the next 2.5 years, I lost my little brother and my husband. And as you can see, I'm a spring chicken. So, I don't have any history behind me. But actually, after I got through that compounded grief process, I realized, I don't care how old I am. I have years of experience, not only coaching, but my doctoral work was in organizational behavior. So I decided I would take all of that plus the life lessons I've learned and create a company where we serve widows, widowers, trauma patients, people who have been through a significant loss, and help them redesign their lives so that they have a future that is positive, purpose-driven, and enjoyable.
Awesome. And tell us about what you do, with that. Are you meeting with people? Are you speaking? How does it all work?
Well, I do a lot of speaking because there's a number of things I want to get out there. One is there's not much help for these people. They go through grief groups and then there's nothing. So I take them all the way through the process of creating their new life and implementing. So I don't leave my clients until I know they've made that full transition and they're in a new place securely. But I do a lot of speaking. Not only am I interested in that, but I'm very interested in trying to change some of the taboo in our country, and I know lots of countries, about speaking about death and grief. So I do a lot of workshops where I'm teaching those who aren't grieving how to support those who are, and I also help those who are grieving understand how they can, with the answers to the questions that are asked them, train their family, friends, coworkers, how to support them best. So it's kind of a dual reach that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I'm just
going to say something here.
Go.
Lynn, you're exactly the kind of person that I want on our radio show.
I'll be there.
All right, let's talk.
There you go. Have a chat. Make it happen. I was just going to say it's really dumb how we sort of it's one of those things we want to put up on the back burner on the top shelf and just not think about. And and then of course it happens to us and we have not dealt with it and we don't know what to say, or it happens to somebody we know and then we feel really awkward, we don't know what to say, and
Exactly.
we've got to talk about these things. So that's what you're doing. That's very interesting and good work, and wish you all the best with that. If you want to have a chat, I'll put the show notes in for Lynn, and you can have a look and see what she's doing, or keep an eye out for her on Positive Talk Radio?
Positive Talk Radio.
Positive Talk
Okay.
Radio. All right, we're going to
Thank
change.
you so
We're
much,
going to.
Julian.
No problem. My pleasure. We're going to change things up about a man who has waded the deep waters of New York real estate with all of the sharks, and I think he might be a shark himself. Tell us a little bit about your story. A good shark.
Well, hi everybody. Thanks for having me. It's I would say that in the game, I was doing a lot of interrupting, but in truth, what we're doing as real estate agents, I run a team of 10 in Manhattan. We're helping help people buy and sell properties, residential properties. It's all about listening and creating a space where people can discover if they're buying something that they would love to live in, and if they're selling, we're creating a space where we really speak to those buyers and create a real magnet to connect both buyer and seller. Been doing it for 21 years. I have a team of 10. We've sold over $1.5 billion in real estate. So it's what we're doing works. It's a very people-centered and I would dare I say open-hearted way of doing business. And you started by talking about that I could be a shark. I would say that the way I operate is very much the opposite of that. We attract people that are looking to find a home they love, and we want to just create a situation where they feel comfortable enough to share that really personal and vulnerable information and feel comfortable doing that. Ultimately, it's a really big journey that people take.
Yeah, I actually love the real estate industry, and it's an exciting thing for everybody, even the people buying homes. Is exciting places to live. And I imagine that of all of the places on planet Earth, Manhattan would have to be one of the most exciting places to sell real estate. Is that correct?
Yes,
especially for the commissions.
Manhattan is certainly the most active real estate market in the country and maybe the world. And what they say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I found that to be true in real estate as well. In fact, I have a book coming out next year called The Pursuit of Home. And the idea is that the journey of buying a home there's so much emotional and psychological things going on underneath the surface that the stories that I talk about in the book reflect the experience of people everywhere. But it is an incredible thing that people go through, and certainly people here are the most high performing, full of lots of issues, and helping them navigate the process here has been really rewarding. Yes, financially, but also as someone who grew up and minored in psychology in college and all of that, I'm so charged up by helping people through that process to a home that they love. There's just nothing better, because you see how their lives expand from a home that they love.
Yeah.
And what are some of the differences? I suppose in Manhattan you'd be doing almost all apartments. Is that correct? Or
apartments and townhouses? Yes.
Got you. And when you started real estate, did you start in Manhattan? Because that seems like it would be just extremely tough to do.
I started in the rental business. Here, one can make a living starting in rentals, but I quickly realized that all that I'm about, which is helping people, the rentals felt more like a transactional situation, and it didn't exactly jive with me. So after about a year and a half, making my bones and figuring out how to pay my rent, so to speak, I transitioned into sales, and now rentals are just 3% of my business. And really what we're doing day in, day out is helping people buy and sell properties, and then also working with developers on brand new ground up buildings and what they call condo conversions.
Oh, okay. Have you done anything for the big Donald? He's big in Manhattan, isn't he? Well, he was until he went to Washington.
We sold properties in buildings that he either built or branded. I will leave it at that. But we're in and out of those buildings all the time. And that was, he was really making his mark in residential real estate a little bit before I came on 20 plus years ago.
Yes, I wasn't meaning anything the other way there. And well, that's amazing. And one thing I did for any real estate people watching, how did you go from being a property manager to getting into a highly competitive real estate market? So you went New York property managing to New York sales. Did you get deals from your property management clients?
Well, I wasn't a property manager. I was in the music business. So I was managing performers, bands. So that business, I was putting bands on the road all around the country. And I was also performing, which we don't have to talk about too much here. But the transition point was really, I moved to New York in 2002 and launched my business in 2003. And it was just about leveraging all the things I had learned in my life before real estate and putting myself out there, and really a genuine desire to both help people and also know that I could figure out the answers to things that I didn't know yet, and built upon that. But it was very much, I'm the kind of person that when I want to make things happen, I go all in. And I found that has worked for my whole life.
Scott, that's amazing that you were in the music industry. My wife and I used to manage a band as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my next question.
Like that business, you can do real estate, that's for sure.
A moth to the flame. I couldn't resist. I need to know about this. What were you doing? Were you a singer? Were you in a guitar band? What were you?
I was in the late 90s. I was in, the best way to describe it is an a cappella boy band. We wrote our own music. We toured the whole country. I helped that band go from a backyard thing to getting on stages in front of 50,000 people. It was entrepreneurial as can be, and incredibly amazing to meet people all over the country and just realize that everybody's going through the same thing, and just applied kind of the way that I really am so curious about people, all different kinds of people. And that's continued to serve me in real estate, because I'm dealing with people in every industry, and they all want a home that they love, and they all are doing incredible things. I end up connecting people, clients and people I meet, and that sort of desire to help people move forward, it extends way beyond real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, what was the name of the band?
It was named after a Brady Bunch episode, which I didn't name the band. It was called Ball in the House.
Okay.
Like don't play ball in the house.
Were you managed by a blimp salesman, the Ponzi guy, or was it a different?
We were in Boston, and so we were definitely looking at all of those groups. And I saw that documentary, and at the time, it was very much one of those things. We didn't know how weird and bad it was behind the scenes, but we were jealous of some of those bands. But we had a different manager.
Did you see that guy around, and did you see those bands around?
Yeah, we saw those bands. We opened for some of them. We were very much in the mix with all of that stuff.
Yeah, that documentary was amazing because, I mean, that guy was very good at managing boy bands. Like, for everything else that he had going on, I found it so weird how he was running all that other stuff. And if he just had it focused on the bands, he would have been fine. He was addicted to the BS.
That's the problem in the music industry, though. It truly is. I mean, they're not focused unless it's bringing in the dollars, and it's an interesting environment.
Well, that was very interesting. From my three wonderful guests, it went in all sorts of interesting directions that I didn't expect it to. Thank you, everybody, for coming on and sharing all of your information. And anybody out there listening and watching wants to touch base with our wonderful guests, check the show notes. And thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap things up. Bye-bye.
This was awesome.